2 shovels and a half.
Oh, 2 shovels. Practical lady right here.
I'm Heather Nikolic, and I'm a research program manager here at the Center for Applied Energy Research in the Power Generation Group. The Power Generation Group conceives of and develops new technologies that are of direct interest to the energy sector and other industrial sectors. We develop new technologies and scale them up as they show promise from the conceptual level up through the lab and bench scale levels and all the way up through the pilot level. And ultimately, to commercialize these technologies is the goal. My projects deal with post-combustion carbon dioxide capture. We do research on how to capture carbon dioxide from flue gas. Flue gas is the gas product that's produced from combusting fossil fuels. So we use a chemical solvent that has an amine functional group. That solvent contacts the flue gas, and then the chemical absorption reaction occurs, and that's how we take the carbon dioxide out of the flue gas. The whole purpose is to lower the cost of carbon dioxide capture. It's fairly easy to capture it, but it's hard to capture it for a very low cost. The smaller project that I'm really excited about now is our compact absorber. It's a way to reduce the capital cost associated with carbon dioxide capture and shrink the size of the absorber and the cost associated with that. Everything I work on is very cool. Two really come to mind. We have our carbon dioxide, post-combustion carbon dioxide capture process that we have scaled up in the last 10 years from bench scale to the small pilot. And now we're working in earnest on scaling that up to the large pilot scale also. We have a small pilot process installed at Kentucky Utilities E.W.BROWN station near Harrodsburg. It's a 0.7 megawatt equivalent process. It's been operational since 2015, and being involved in the design and the construction and the startup and the operation and then the data analysis of that has been really exciting. We use it as an excellent platform for demonstrating and scaling up technologies that we develop here at CAER at the lab and bench scale and then to scale them up and install them there and test them out. We capture all of the waste heat and use that ultimately to regenerate part of the solvent, so that we can minimize the steam extraction that we need from the power generation steam cycle to regenerate the rest of the solvent, and we keep that at minimum, which keeps the operating cost minimal. Coal power plants in the future are going to have to be more flexible than they currently are. As the renewable energy sources are coming into the grid, coal-fired power plants are going to have to be able to ramp up and ramp down a lot faster and a lot more frequently. They're going to have to deal with a lot more startups and shutdowns. They're going to have to work on efficiencies and improving their efficiency as well. And going along with that, all of the downstream environmental control systems and processes are going to have to do the same thing, including carbon dioxide capture. So coal-fired power plants in the future are also going to have near zero emissions and near zero waste. Yep, so I started here in January of 2012, so really close to 9 years. Chemical engineering, is all about problem solving, and I love that. I love this sense of accomplishment that you get when you complete a process and solve a problem and meet your goals. After, it's a long story, maybe it's not a long story, but after grad school, I worked at Texas Instruments for a few years. We got married to my husband when I was in grad school, and then when we started having a family, I quit working and was a stay-at-home mom for 11 years. And so coming to the Center for Applied Energy was my first, resurrecting my career. One of the reasons I really like working here is because of all the really smart people that I get to work with and learn from. And 201, everybody is so helpful and happy to collaborate and share ideas and share data that's been previously collected that we can build upon to work on some new ideas and develop new processes and tweak things and intensify things. It's one of the things that really makes it fun to work here. I like to garden and I like to grow plants. I have a collection of orchids that I keep trying to get to rebloom. Let's see, a couple years back we went through a tree planting campaign and we planted a bunch of native trees to Kentucky, a bunch of sycamores and oaks, and we have several ash trees on our place. Most of them died, but several of them didn't. And so we still have a few of those. Before the pandemic, my husband and I started getting into sailing, and we've taken sailing classes and we've gotten several certifications, several times a year taking trips to various exotic locations and sailing. Certainly it has to be my parents. Growing up, when my brother and I were little, my mom was also a stay-at-home mom, and then when Jason and I got older, she went back to work and resurrected her career as an occupational therapist. And so I did the same thing. And I recognized how important that is to have that time and raise your kids the way you want them to be raised. Also, nobody has a bigger, harder work ethic than my dad. I don't think he has taken a sick day in his life. And he was a pilot for the Air National Guard when I was little, and then for the airline, and then a corporate pilot after that, and just very, very recently retired. So I picture this island as a Caribbean island, not an unpleasant place to be, right? So after I have the basic needs met, I definitely need something to keep the sun off of my head and face. So I'll have a giant sombrero, and then I will have 2 shovels. Like I said, one of my hobbies is gardening. I'm just gonna start cultivating all of the native species and making the island very beautiful. 2 shovels and a hat.
Oh, 2 shovels. Practical lady right here.
Mountains. Early morning. I like them both, but I'm allergic to cats, so I have a dog. Soda, I guess. Neither. Either one, no. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Okay, ninja.
Okay.
Pirates are bad guys. 5 years from now, I would really like to see our large pilot process constructed and being operated and generating lots of great data that we can use for commercialization to be the next step. That is the number one thing.